Hey guys, and welcome back into the channel. We're going to be reviewing the Blackhawks game from last night against the Philadelphia Flyers. A game in which I'm still trying to recover from. An absolutely just pathetic and just, oh my God, fucking horrible performance by the Chicago Blackhawks. By far their worst performance of the season. In the preview yesterday, I talked about how I thought the record was a little deceiving. I thought the Blackhawks, despite the fact they were 2-3-2, were playing a lot better than the record was indicating. This was not the case yesterday. That yesterday was abysmal in every aspect of the game. Let's start out with the fact that the fucking offense in the entire second period, the Chicago Blackhawks had one shot on goal. One shot on goal. Abysmal, brutal, embarrassing, pukey. Fuck that. Horrible. Let's now go to the defense, which had about 476 turnovers yesterday, leading to, I don't know, 18 fucking breakaways on Robin Leonard, who was just like a chicken without his head, with chicken with his head cut off out there. Time and time again, it was like rinse and repeat. Time and time again, breakaways for Philadelphia. They lose. What was the fucking final score? 4-1. But in all reality, I mean, it was 6-1 as far as I'm concerned. There was a couple offsides for Philadelphia that negated goals by a fucking eyelash of a distance. It was just a pathetic game in every aspect imaginable. Leonard, although like I said, he had breakaways on him constantly. He did allow one soft goal. That goal to start the second period was that shouldn't have happened. Just went under his shoulder. Eric Gustafsson, a brutal turnover. The only things that I saw from today that were encouraging, I thought Brandon Saad played another solid game. He scored the one goal for Chicago. And I did think Kirby Dach and Patrick Kane had a little bit of chemistry out there. Whenever Kirby was on the ice, I thought that whether they were scoring or not, which they weren't, they just were having some positive momentum. They were pushing the puck into Philadelphia's zone. They were creating some chances. Kirby's starting to look a lot more comfortable on the ice. And that's something that's definitely encouraging, and it's exciting to see going forward what will happen with him. I'm going to be doing a video, like I said, about Kirby and what the Blackhawks are going to do with him. I think anyone that's watching the games, it's pretty obvious at this point what they're going and need to do with Kirby. He can't go anywhere. In the last two games, they've scored 2 goals. He scored 1, and he assisted on the other. Without him, they have no goals the last 2 games. He's contributing, and he's been in on all the offense the last 2 games. Penalty-wise, Kane got a holding penalty, just a lazy penalty, frustration penalty, grabbed the jersey right when they were on a power play, which I was, disappointed in. And then Kubalik with the slashing penalty. So penalty-wise, not too much to talk about. The PK was fine. Philadelphia was over 2 on the power play, so I guess that's encouraging. The MVP for the game I gave to Brandon Saad for the lone goal. I thought he played with a lot of energy, and he's just a monster on the puck. You can't move him. He's a man. That was encouraging. In terms of the lines, I really think coming in tomorrow against Carolina, it's time for a shakeup. I've been saying for a few weeks now, not necessarily on this channel, but just in general with other people, I would like to see Saad, Taves, and Kubalik on that first line. That's what I would like to see. Jeremy Colleton did switch up the lines in the third period. That wasn't the lines he had. I don't remember the exact lines. I think he had Strome, Taves, and Shaw together, I think. He had switched some lines around, though, and I'm guessing that's the lines he's going to go with in tomorrow's game. Again, weren't the lines that I want to see. I think that I may do a video on that, too, some lines that I think may help. But Colleton is right what he said in the postgame. The lines don't matter. If your team doesn't compete, if your team refuses to shoot the fucking puck, which is what was happening last night, they had 3 power plays and 1 shot on goal. So we had the first 2 power plays, Blackhawks had 0 shots on goal, which is embarrassing. Then the third power play, they got 1 shot on goal. To go 6 minutes of ice time with a man advantage and have 1 shot, there's more wrong. I mean, and this is a team with gifted players on that power play unit, just all around the ice. It's just nothing but gifted players, multiple Hall of Famers. The fact of the matter is, watching last night, it was clear as fucking day to me that this team is just looking for the perfect play. They don't want to just take a shot. They don't want to, the way I look at it is if you take a shot, even if it's not the cleanest shot, even if it doesn't go in, the defense is going to have to scramble. The puck deflects. It goes off the boards. Guys are having to scramble all over. You get them out of position, and good things will happen. The puck can bounce any which way, but you got to take a shot. They wanted to pass around, just looking for that perfect lane for a shot, and it never happened. You look at Philadelphia. What was it? Their third goal, I think. It was the third goal. They had a redirect off the stick. Nothing Leonard could do. It's like that kind of stuff only is going to happen if you put shots on net. Another issue with the power play is I'm sick of this whole fucking Patrick Kane entry. I mean, yes, I agree he's fantastic at it, but the fact that the only way that first unit will enter the zone is on a back pass to Patrick Kane. That's it. It's predictable. It takes time constantly. There's plenty of times where it's like DeBrincat has the puck, Strome has the puck, Taves has the puck, and they're halfway up the ice, and it's like they have a clear entry, but instead they have to whip it backwards to Kane, which then takes an extra 10 seconds for him to skate up the ice. By the time he gets in the zone, if it works perfectly, I mean, either way, you wasted another 10 seconds, but a lot of times it doesn't work. You pass it back to him, he skates it up, tries to pass it off to the side, it gets knocked back. I mean, it takes us a goddamn minute sometimes just to get in the fucking zone. I mean, the most important part of the power play, in my opinion, is just the ability to enter the zone quickly and efficiently. And I'm not saying that this back pass to Patrick Kane to create the zone entry is not a good idea from time to time. I like it, but the fact that that's their only way to enter the zone with that first power play unit, it's predictable and it's not working. So let's switch that shit up, Colleton. How about that? Let's switch that shit up because it's sucking. All I know is I'm expecting some line switches tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if Zach Smith gets back in the lineup. Not that I think that's going to provide any fucking, boosts or anything. But I do think that there's a good chance he gets back in the lineup. I just want to see some change. I want to see some grit tomorrow. I want to see Andrew Shaw laying some motherfuckers out from Carolina. I think Calvin DeHaan will probably be motivated and ready to play against his former team tomorrow. I did think yesterday, I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but he got moved to that top pairing with Keith because of Murphy being out. And I thought DeHaan struggled the most he had struggled in any of his games so far this season. And I think a lot of that had to do with him switching to his opposite hand side, having to play with Keith. Now he's on the right side of the ice rather than the left. Obviously I don't know that, but I think that might have impacted him. But they're going to have to adjust. It's got to get better. We're now 2-4-2. We're falling behind in the division. And in the post game, I about fucking threw up listening to some of the guys. They deserved better. I don't remember what jack off said that, but they said they deserved better. It's like rinse and repeat. They had said that the last few games when it was true, and now they're just continuing to say that. The fact is, they didn't deserve better last night. They deserved worse. As far as I'm concerned, they lost that game 6-1. But again, DeBrincat, Taves, Strome, just nothing from the top six. It's brutal. I still think that's going to turn around because the top six is extremely talented. But they better get their shit together quick, fast, in a hurry, or they're going to be out of it. So these next two games got the day off today, but then they Saturday in Carolina, first true road game. My mom comes in blaring fucking music, if you can hear it. And then Sunday against LA, which is a game they better win or I'm going to lose my mind. But that's the review of the Philadelphia game. Brutal, abysmal, awful, 4-1 loss, 2-4-2 on the season. Expect Corey Crawford to be back in the net tomorrow, and hopefully we can get our first win. So in a while. So thanks, guys. I'll be back later whenever I feel like it. Fuck.